The Nintendo 3DS eShop is shutting down on March 27, 2023. That means that after this date, you will no longer be able to purchase or download software from the 3DS eShop. You basically have less than a week at the time of this recording to get everything that you want or need from the 3DS eShop before it closes down forever. And who knows if Nintendo will bring back any of the 3DS games on the Nintendo Switch. Now mind you, earlier this year on the Nintendo Direct, it did show that Game Boy and Game Boy Advance games were going to be available on the Switch, only though by subscription via Nintendo Switch Online. So there is a possibility, however, you're not going to own them. So I will say it's very important for you, if you want to actually keep a piece of the 3DS software and games, it's very important to act now in getting the 3DS software as soon as possible before time runs out. And I'm going to show you how to do it and my personal recommendation of what games that you should download. So first things first, how to add funds onto your 3DS. So the first thing that you need are two accounts, the Nintendo Network ID and a Nintendo account. So the Nintendo Network ID, this is used for the Wii U and 3DS family systems, while the Nintendo account is used for the Nintendo Switch. You will need both accounts. Then, once you have both of them, you need to link them together. So if you don't have a Nintendo Network ID, you can get one via your 3DS. All you have to do is go to your system settings, then press the Nintendo Network ID settings, and it's pretty much self-explanatory. Also, if you need any more help, I will leave a link on the description that takes you to a guide on how to create a Nintendo Network ID on your 3DS. And also, I will give you another link on a web page. Well, it helps you on a step-by-step process on how to create a Nintendo account if you don't have one via Switch. Now, when you sign in to your Nintendo account on the web page, you should see a section with your link accounts, and make sure you link your Nintendo Network ID while on this page. And after that, when you go to the store and check your funds, you should see a green text saying funds have been merged. Now, after you do that, when you add funds, either a gift card or via credit card or PayPal to your Nintendo account, they will show up on your Nintendo Network ID as well. And with that, you can purchase anything, any software on the 3DS. Pretty much simple and pretty much self-explanatory. And again, the links will be on the description on how to do the process, and you should be ready to purchase any type of 3DS games that you want. So now that you're ready to purchase anything on the 3DS eShop, here are my recommendations of what 3DS games and software you should purchase. I will also like to add that there is a special sale going on for all 3DS games on the eShop. So a lot of the games are even 60, 70, 80, even 90% off. So take advantage of this sale before the closure of the eShop. The first thing is the Virtual Console games, and these are games that are consisted of Game Boy, Game Boy Color, Game Boy Advance, NES, SNES, and Sega games. So these are for all the retro gamers out there, and I'm one of them. And some of the games that I would like to highlight would be Super Mario Land for Game Boy. That was a very personal favorite of mine. That was actually the very first Mario game that I played on the Game Boy, and I actually owned the Game Boy Pocket, and I would never get tired of it. It was so much fun, really cool music, really awesome enemies. You could be a submarine, you can actually fly a plane at the very last. It was pretty awesome. Another one would be Super Mario Bros. 3. It was basically the most popular, famous NES titles, and it's so much fun to play it on the go. And another title that I would recommend is Sonic the Hedgehog 1 and 2 3D, which were Sega Genesis games. And you know, what can I say about this iconic Sonic game? This is basically what made me fall in love with video games. And again, if I were you, I would just purchase all the Virtual Console games, because again, there's so many really good games there, especially the Zelda games. You have a whole library of that the NES, the SNES, and even the Game Boy. And I'm going to go back to the Virtual Console games, but these are just some of the highlights that I would just like to say, and you cannot go wrong. So my personal recommendation, buy every single Virtual Console game that is out there, especially if you love retro games. The next thing that you should download on your 3DS are the free downloads. So this can also mean games that are free and demos, especially the demos that carry progress or exclusive items, etc. to the main games. If you get the demo that is free, you can actually unlock special items, special characters, and so on, and you can carry it to the main game. So I would try to download every single one of them that you can possibly do. But mind you, some of those demos, not all the items transfer over. There's just a little weird way to do it. But again, it's a free demo, and what do you have to lose? It's free, right? Who doesn't want free stuff? Especially. So make sure you download all the free downloads and demos that are available on the 3DS. Another thing that I would like to add that you should really download is the Save Data Transfer tool. So that thing, it actually helps you transfer data from one 3DS to another 3DS just by having them in the same Wi-Fi and close to each other. So, in case if you want to move a normal size 3DS to a 3DS XL, or a new 3DS XL, or a 2DS, and so on, that is a really good tool that you can use, and I highly recommend that you have it. And again, it's free, so it goes back to that free stuff. Like, if there is a really good tool for your 3DS, you might as well use it, because you never know, because maybe in the future your 3DS maybe is on its last legs of battery, and you just want to transfer it to maybe a much faster and much younger 3DS. It doesn't hurt to have that special tool. The next recommendation that I have you, and it's a very important one, is for all of the gamers to basically buy all of the Pokemon games that is offered on the 3DS eShop. The reason why is because it has a lot of the classic games that is only available via download. So we're talking about Pokemon Red, Blue, Yellow, Gold, Silver, and Crystal. And also the Pokemon Trading Card game, Pokemon Pinball, Pokemon Puzzle, and even some of the other software that's very important as well. We're talking about Pokemon Bank, Pokemon Transporter, and so on. And also, not to forget the demos as well that can transfer data and other exclusive Pokemon to Pokemon games. Because again, earlier this year on the Nintendo Direct and also in Pokemon Presents, they did say that Pokemon Bank was going to be available on the Switch, and it's going to could be connected to your 3DS, so you can actually transfer some exclusive Pokemon from your Game Boy games that is in your 3DS to your Switch. So you can transfer them to your Pokemon Sword and Shield or your Pokemon Scarlet and Violet, right? So this is a perfect opportunity to get all those exclusive Pokemon games that are only available via download. And also for those people that, doesn't want to break the bank in trying to get Pokemon X and Y, Pokemon Sun and Moon, Pokemon Omega Ruby or Alpha Sapphire, this will be a perfect opportunity to do that. So again, you cannot go wrong with Pokemon. So do yourself a favor and try to get all of the Pokemon stuff that you can, because you will not go wrong, and you can get exclusive Pokemon that you're not going to get anywhere else. So make sure you get into that as soon as possible. And lastly, here are my honorable mentions of the games that you should definitely download on your 3DS. For me, the Mario series. So any of the Mario games is a really good game to have. So we're talking about Mario 3D, Super Mario Bros. 1 and 2, Mario Kart 7, even Mario 64 on the 3DS is pretty good. The Zelda games, we're talking about Ocarina of Time or Majora's Mask or A Link Between Worlds. Another one would be Kid Icarus, which is a pretty awesome game on the 3DS itself. Another one that I would recommend is Hatsune Miku Project Mirai DX, which is a very fun rhythm game with memorable songs, and you can actually still download pack songs on the 3DS. Another game that is not well known, but it's really fun to have, is Lord of Manga Made in Heaven, which is like a harem anime type of adventure game that you can actually build relationships with different characters, different girls with different strengths, and just have pretty awesome time out there. Another one would be Super Smash Brothers on the 3DS. This was actually the first game to actually be portable in a handheld mode on Super Smash Brothers, so it has a sentimental value. It's still pretty cool. Another one would be Ace Combat, which is a pretty awesome game to have, especially if you like to have those flying games, you know, going everywhere. And then also even the Kirby series, like even Kirby Roboboat, which is pretty awesome to have. So again, there are just so many games that I can go on and on to go with, but these are just some of my honorable mentions that I would like to share with you guys because I played so many hours to having them. So I do apologize if I miss anything, but if I miss anything, write your comments below of what would you recommend as some of the 3DS games that you would totally download for gamers to buy. Overall, the 3DS eShop has a lot to offer, both in games and in software. And the most important thing to note is that once you purchase and download something, you will have the ability to re-download it even after the eShop closes. So for example, if you mistakenly delete a game, or maybe your 3DS shuts down, you can still re-download all of those games as long as you have your Nintendo ID account. So after all is said and done, these are my recommendations. And you know, thinking about it, that we have less than a week before the eShop closes, it basically gave me nostalgia about all the times I had with my 3DS. The first time I had it was back when I was in college and I was hanging out with friends, and I remember going to Street Passes events and, you know, collecting puzzles and having new friends, and then, you know, battling the Mii adventures, you know, playing multiplayers, going back to my childhood playing the early Pokemon games, Pokemon Yellow and Silver, you know, battling tournaments on Mario Kart and Super Smash Brothers. So it has this special feeling and this special place in my heart, the 3DS. And even when the eShop closes, and I wish I had more time to play those games, and you know I probably won't see them again, but I know you can do it if you mod your 3DS, right? But if you're not a good modder, you know, this is your last chance. So I think for me, it's a bittersweet moment to say the least, and all I just want to say is thank you, 3DS. Thank you for the memories, thank you for the games, thank you for the adventures, and thank you for bringing people closer and making new friends, friendships that last a lifetime. And now we have to say goodbye to the eShop and all those memories. And I just hope that everyone takes advantage right now in, you know, preserving those memories and remembering, you know, what was that feeling, what was that emotion you felt when you first played those games, or when you were doing something with the 3DS. And you know, it's always going to be that special feeling. And I hope everyone, you know, enjoys the last moments of the eShop while it's still around. So again, guys, what did you guys think about today's video? If it's very helpful, please hit that like button, subscribe to my channel, hit that notification so you know when future videos are available. And again, guys, thank you so much. Thank you so much, Nintendo 3DS, for all the memories. So everyone, stay awesome.